Okay, hello. I'm gonna do a video here, just gonna showcase this method for Ultimate Ironman to utilize steel and mithril plate bodies at the Giant Foundry. This video is gonna be pretty boring, but it's mostly a demonstration. We're gonna go up here and we're gonna reset our rates. The method is pretty straightforward. We buy plate bodies here at Horvik, and then we minigame teleport to the Giant's Foundry, and then repeat. We use the Chronicle to get back to Varrock, since we need every inventory space we can get. All that's actually required for this method is the Ice Gloves and the Chronicle, and then a stack of coins. You can also do the same thing with iron plate bodies and steel plate bodies, but instead of using two myth and five steel, you'd use three steel and four iron. So it's a little bit different ratio. Um, but it's about the same thing. You just buy iron and steel rather than myth and steel. Um, so we're going to start out here and then see how we do. The goal is to hopefully get 4 of these runs in and be back here ready to go by the time the minigame timer is up. If I don't quite get it, then that's okay. But that's the idea. The exact experience rates will depend on how well you do at the foundry, what molds you have unlocked, if you have the outfit and whatnot. But the goal is to try and get 4 runs in 20 minutes. We'll see if we can do it. But most of this video is just going to be me doing the Giants Foundry minigame. And I'm going to be using the molds I have. Um, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be fully operable, but it should be good enough. So I'll probably get more experience in something. I'm definitely going to get more experience than somebody who is just starting out, because they won't have the upgraded molds. But the main point is that you're going to get 5 runs. Or yeah, 4 runs, sorry. And obviously that'll be tailored to whatever molds and stuff you have at the time. Oh, you have to unequip the Chronicle. You can technically do this with an Artie Cape and buy from the shop in Ardone. I think the walk to the shore is a little bit farther than the Chronicle, but then you wouldn't have to unequip the Chronicle. It's really not a huge of a difference, though. And when we get to the end, one of the nicest upgrades you could do to this method is actually use an alt account to sell to the plate body shop, so that you can buy the plate bodies much faster. It's a lot more relevant when using the Mith ones, because buying all the steel plate bodies takes quite a while. But it's not required. But it's if I was doing this personally, I would definitely be doing that. And also, I'm not a master at this minigame, but it doesn't seem that complicated. So if I make mistakes, then that's why. Good run already. Always make sure you right click and do the quench. I'm sure at some point there'll be a rune light setting to make that your left click option, but for right now I don't think there is. And the reason why we use 2 myth plate bodies and 5 steel rather than a more even mix is so that we only get 4 completion bars. If you use any more myth, then you're going to get 5 completion bars rather than 4, and it'll take a lot longer to make the sword. And you don't get that much more experience for it, so I'm pretty confident it's better to do this. And also, the myth plate bodies cost a lot more than the steel plate bodies, so you're saving money by doing it this way as well. Okay. about to finish up the first sword. So we got 9,000 for that. Broad and heavy. Show that one. Like that one. Sure. It's kind of convenient that you're using these steel plate bodies. You get the option to choose the 5 rather than having to choose X. But we'll get there. Yeah, so we have 15 minutes left in our timer. So that took about 5 minutes. A bit over, a bit under. Yes, that's the right one. Also, we'll be paying attention to how much money this costs. I have to see at the end how much it'll end up charging us, but my calculations say that it should cost a bit of money, but not too much. That wasn't worth it. No, it's not very good. We're doing XP rates. Pretty good. Okay, so now we have about 2.5 minutes left on our mini game timer to try and buy plate bodies. Um, I don't think I'll get them all bought in that time, but I did, it wasn't 100% optimal. I easily could have saved maybe, a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, if I'd played slightly more optimally. Um, but we'll go ahead and see how long it takes us to buy a new set of plate bodies, and that will get us right back to where we started, and then we'll stop right there. So we gained about 40,000 experience. This is using the higher level molds. I don't have all of them unlocked, but I have a lot of them, and including the level 80 mold, the Choppa, which I don't think we actually used, but um, so this will be higher than if you don't have anything unlocked, but still, even if it was only like 30,000 experience, then that's more and probably in line with what you get without any upgrades. So if we can manage to do 3 sets of this in, this is like 20 minutes, there's, 3 mini game timers in an hour. So if you can do this 3 times an hour, then that's about 90,000 experience. If with the higher molds, you're obviously going to get more than that. Um, so, I mean, this is really good. And this can be done starting right at level 50. It's very easy, obviously almost no requirements. This is just vastly better than everything else available at that level. So, and you can do this method starting with steel and iron plate bodies as early as level 30. And it's exactly the same thing, but instead of using steel and Mith, you're using iron and steel. See, we're going to be right about on time. And if I had been a little bit, I think we'll be a little bit behind. But that's just, if I hadn't made mistakes in the foundry, then we would be right at the minigame timer. And obviously, and also you can use an alt account to sell plate bodies to the shop and buy them if you want to make this go way faster. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna be maybe a minute or so behind the minigame timer, and I lost maybe about a minute. So it comes out to almost exactly 20 minutes to do this with optimal gameplay. And you can, as I mentioned, if you're having issues with the shop, you can use an alt, or you can use the RD store as well. Don't forget to equip one of them. If you forget to equip one of them, it kind of screws everything up. Also, if you're higher level, you might a construction cape would allow you to buy stuff from Prifdinus. You just teleport to your house, but you know I don't have a con cape on this account right now, so okay, that's it. We are done. So we are right back where we started. We have 1931k. I'd have to check back on the video where we started, but you can do the math to see how much it cost. We gained about 40,000 experience in that time. We're gaining 115, and this is times 4, it's about 120,000 experience per hour with the molds that I had and the RNG that I got. So maybe 90 to 100,000 depending on if you don't have those upgrades. Yeah, this is really good. That's what I got, guys. Over.